She trusted him once. The Mafia boss never let anyone touch her again. Part 3. The invitation arrived in a black envelope. No return address. Heavy cardstock. Embossed gold lettering. A charity gala hosted by one of the city's most respected philanthropic foundations. Everyone who mattered would be there. Politicians, bankers, diplomats, and enemies. Amelia turned the cards slowly between her fingers. "He wants us visible," she said. Across the glass-walled office, the Mexican crime lord adjusted the cuff of his dark tailored suit, expression unreadable. "No," he corrected calmly. "He wants to see how far I'm willing to go." Ricardo stood near the digital screens, arms folded over his broad chest, the scar on his eyebrow sharp beneath the lights. It's a controlled environment, public, cameras everywhere, security shared. "Shared security," Amelia repeated softly, "which means compromised." A faint shift of approval flickered in the crime lord's eyes. She was learning, or perhaps she already knew how to survive rooms like this. The evening of the gala, Barcelona glittered beneath a velvet sky. Inside the estate, the mood was precise, measured, deliberate. Amelia stood before a full-length mirror. She wore a floor-length ivory gown, elegant, structured, timeless. The tailored coat replaced with something softer but equally refined. Her chestnut waves framed her face, hazel eyes calm but alert. She did not look like a bait. She looked like someone who belonged beside power. Behind her, he entered. Perfectly tailored black suit, crisp white shirt, no tie tonight. Authority without effort. He stopped when he saw her. For a moment, the mask slipped. "You look strategic," she offered lightly. His gaze darkened. Untouchable. Their eyes held in the mirror. Dangerous territory. Ricardo cleared his throat from the doorway. "We leave in 5. The gala venue was an architectural masterpiece, glass and marble overlooking the Mediterranean. Flashbulbs popped. Journalists murmured. When their car door opened, silence rippled outward. He stepped out first, then turned and offered his hand. A choice, not possession, partnership. Amelia placed her hand in his. The cameras caught it. The rival boss was already inside, watching. The moment they entered, conversations dipped. Power recognized power. The rival stood near the center of the ballroom, salt and pepper hair immaculate, luxury suit cut to precision, cold, calculating eyes scanning the crowd. When he saw them, he smiled, subtle, predatory. They approached each other slowly, like two kings acknowledging territory. "Impressive turnout," the rival said smoothly. The Mexican leader's tone was calm. "You always did enjoy an audience." "And you," the rival's eyes flicked briefly to Amelia, "always did develop interesting attachments." Amelia did not shrink. She stepped forward half an inch. "Attachments imply weakness," she said gently. "I prefer alliances." A pause. The rival studied her carefully. "Yes," he murmured, "you would." The air thickened. Guests sensed it, but didn't understand it. Ricardo watched from a distance, posture alert, eyes tracking every movement. The rival lifted a champagne glass. "To new beginnings," he announced loudly. The room quieted. "To forgiveness of old grievances." The Mexican leader did not lift a glass. "You murdered my brother," he said evenly. Gasps rippled across the room. Public, unavoidable. The rival did not flinch. "Allegedly. Publicly," the Mexican man replied. The tension became electric. Amelia felt it, the room balancing on a knife's edge. Then she moved. She stepped toward the podium near the orchestra, took the microphone, without asking, without warning. The ballroom froze. "If I may," she said softly. Her British accent carried clearly through the speakers. "This foundation raises funds for international education and diplomatic youth exchange." Politicians nodded. Donors leaned in. "My father served in diplomatic service for 30 years. He taught me that power isn't proven through silence." The rival's smile thinned. She turned slightly towards him. So, if we're discussing forgiveness tonight, perhaps we should start with truth. The room held its breath. The Mexican leader watched her, not intervening, trusting. For the first time publicly, trusting. You want to prove legitimacy? She continued gently. Open your financials. Disclose your offshore transfers. Show the world exactly how charitable you are. Murmurs spread like wildfire. Cameras pivoted. The rival's cold eyes sharpened. You're bold, he said softly into the microphone she still held. No, she replied. Just visible. The rival stepped closer. Too close. Careful, he murmured quietly, only for she and the Mexican leader to hear. Visibility makes targets clearer. Before she could respond, the lights flickered again, but this time not by storm. A digital screen behind the stage lit up, unplanned. Financial transactions, wire transfers, names, accounts tied to the rival's network. Ricardo, he had anticipated this. The crowd erupted, phones lifted, security shifted. The rival's mask cracked for half a second, just enough. You planned this, he said to his rival calmly. No, the Mexican leader replied evenly. She did. The rival's gaze snapped to Amelia, and in that moment, the game changed. She was not bait. She was a threat. Security ushered high-profile guests out. Press swarmed. In the chaos, a gunshot rang out, not aimed at him, at her. Time fractured. The Mexican leader moved first. He pulled her down as glass shattered behind them. Ricardo tackled the shooter near a side exit. Screams filled the hall. The rival vanished into the confusion. When silence finally returned, she was still in his arms, alive, her pulse racing against his palm. Are you hurt? He demanded quietly. No, she breathed, but she was shaking, not from fear, from adrenaline, from realization. He brushed a stray lock of chestnut hair from her face. You see now, he said low. This is my world. She held his gaze. Then stop trying to keep me out of it. The words stunned him, more than the gunshot. Hours later, the estate overlooked a restless city. News channels exploded with coverage. Investigations would follow. The rival would not recover easily from tonight, but neither would we. Amelia stood on the balcony again. No storm tonight, just quiet. He joined her. You were extraordinary, he said. You were terrified, she replied softly. A faint smile touched his lips. Yes. She turned fully towards him. You once said I reminded you of who you were before. I did. Maybe, she whispered, I'm reminding you who you still are. Silence. Heavy. Honest. He reached for her slowly this time, not to restrain, not to command, to ask. Her hand met his willingly. The city lights reflected in her hazel eyes. Amelia, he said quietly, vulnerability threading through strength. If you stay beside me, it will never be safe. She stepped closer. It was never safe the night I warned you. A breath apart now. And yet, she continued softly, I'd do it again. The confession landed between them, not explosive, but irreversible. He lowered his forehead to hers, careful, reverent. For a man who ruled through fear, this was surrender, not of power, but of solitude. I won't cage you, he said. Good, because I don't belong in one. His lips brushed hers, slow, intentional. Not possession, promise. Inside, Ricardo watched through the glass briefly, then turned away, giving them privacy. War still waited. The rivals still breathed. But tonight, they stood united. Not as weakness, not as leverage, but something far more dangerous. Two people who chose each other, knowing exactly